A serial killer is a person who commits a number of murders for their own twisted reasoning. Serial killers often kill by a predictable pattern. People with blonde hair, people who are financially dependent, even people who are convicted criminals. Light Yagami is a high school student who becomes what he so desperately wanted to destroy. But how did Light Yagami become a serial killer? In this video, we will be discussing how Light wanted to take over the world with his power. This is how to create a serial killer. Light begins his killings after discovering the Death Note. In the beginning, Light thinks it's nothing more than a silly prank. But after seeing the notebook's power for himself, Light begins to have a mental breakdown. Light Yagami begins to question the morality of the Death Note until he realizes what he has to do. Light had to create a new world. In this new world, Light would eliminate anyone who was deemed as an immoralist, a person who commits or spreads immoral behavior. Light wants to pass judgment on those who terrorize the innocent. Light is the only one who can judge those who have sinned. He is the only one with this ability. With the power of the Death Note, Light will become the god of this new world. This mentality would lead Light into developing what is known as a God complex. God complex, a mentality of an individual who believes they possess an ability superior to others. They believe they are so superior that they believe they are a god. People with a God complex often have an extremely large ego. Their ego comes from a past where the individual was the best at something they participated in. In the case of Light Yagami, he was the most intelligent student in the entire country of Japan. Light received perfect scores on any test given to him at school. When people tell you that you're the best, you'll eventually start believing this as well. A person with a God complex is often very manipulative. They try to be in control of every situation they are in to achieve their own personal goals. A person with a God complex hates criticism. If anyone challenges their power or authority, they try to eliminate the threat as swiftly as possible. Light Yagami was no stranger to this description. Light constantly manipulated others by using his good reputation. He would even use others to kill if it meant keeping his authority as Kira. If there was a threat to Light's mission as Kira, he would swiftly eradicate anyone who stood in his path. A God complex often develops early, but what exactly solidified this for Light? A false sense of judgment, a past of perfection, and the power to do whatever is necessary to succeed. Light Yagami was bored with his life. School was too easy and he already was the best at everything else. The only thing Light felt he couldn't change were the vile people of humanity. Light felt as if their evil was corrupting the innocence of society. Light was sick of hearing the same news stories every day. So when he found the Death Note, Light felt as if he was the best and only one who could make a change. Light felt as if this was the only thing in his life that could make him feel fulfilled. However, with the bold opposition of L, Light's twisted morals gave him the catalyst to finalize his God complex. Light needed someone to try to deny his authority, to silence them, furthering his rule as Kira. A serial killer with a God complex is one of the most dangerous serial killers of them all. This type of serial killer will have a false sense of judgment that they will use to justify their actions. Not only that, they cannot see the error in their ways, even if it is clearly pointed out to them. This may cause the killer to find more reasons to justify their actions. They are very manipulative and cunning, and they may try to convince others of their superior way of thinking. They believe that other people don't matter. They will do anything in their power to maintain superiority. They will kill anyone who may stand in their way of obtaining perfection. The assailant's cunning may cause the victims to believe nothing will happen to them. They are the innocent lamb. The sly fox will throw wool over the eyes of the baby sheep, but when the fox strikes, the lamb is clueless until the very end. A serial killer with a God complex is very dangerous indeed. Their ego and persuasion allow them to have an advantage over others, although they can be defeated nonetheless. Their egotistical pride is one of the things that sets them apart from other serial killers. Their pride will cause them to make crucial mistakes in hopes of gaining authority over others. If you can injure the lion's pride, you can control its actions and make it reveal itself. Pride is an emotion that caused Light to be suspected as Kira. To be honest, I was very tempted to count the amount of times Light purposely tried to out himself just because of his pride. Serial killers tend not to show emotions. The one emotion that a serial killer with a God complex does show is their pride. If you can control the serial killer's emotions, you can control them. Toy with their pride, because pride is what makes them kill. They are very dangerous, but if you can discover their pride, you have nothing to fear. じゃあ、元気で。またな。